In this video, we're going to cover a couple of the PPC custom reports that you can create to help you manage your own PPC campaigns. We're going to start with Rachel's PPC campaign goal performance. So the very first thing we're going to do is jump over to the Google Solutions Gallery by clicking on this link, and then we're going to import that into our own Google Analytics. All it's going to ask us for here, of course, is to select which view we want to give it, which we're going to do that. And we'll go ahead and create our custom report. The very first thing we're going to do is we're going to see how this custom report was actually built. So we like to see all the pieces and parts of what it's showing us. So we're going to come into Edit, and then we can break down, as again, the name of the report itself. In this case, it's a flat table report. So it just shows us the campaign, if it knows. Then we've got the source of traffic, the branded source of traffic, and then our numbers, our metrics, so the conversion rate, per session values, sessions, page views, etc. And then in this case, there's specific filters that have been set up. So this is important, and this is why you don't just use a custom report without first looking at how it's built, because you wouldn't naturally see that these filters are in there otherwise. So in this case, we're going to include the source of Google. We're going to exclude any keyword which is not set or not provided. So that's what this is showing us. So only traffic that's coming in from Google, but doesn't have the keyword of not set or not provided. And we're going to click on Save. And that is why we are only seeing Google traffic here. And in this case, there hasn't been any campaigns that look like they have their campaign value set, at least not during this date range. So let's expand it out and see if we can get a little more details on any that might be coming through. And it doesn't look like there is in this case. That's fine. What I can look at here is I've got no campaign that's been set from the source of Google. I've got conversion rates, so I can kind of get an idea of number of visits and page views that are coming through. So quite a bit of activity here. But this is really the interesting thing I want to see is this. Now, the issue that I'm running into right now is I just see one source of traffic, and it really doesn't tell me how well Google's doing because I don't really have anything to compare it to. So I'm going to edit this particular custom report, and we're going to take this out. So I want to see everything, and we're going to click on Save. This will now allow us to see all of our traffic sources. So as I bring this in, you can start seeing all of the different traffic sources that are actually sending us traffic and the different campaigns. And there's quite a bit. There's 112 here. So I'm just going to sort it, in this case, by page views, because I just want to see the highest number of page views, the traffic sources that are really sending me the highest traffic. So I've got Google, I've got my direct none traffic, and then I've got Googleplex, sites got Google DFA traffic, analytics, partners, more Google traffic. In this case, there are some campaigns that have been coming through, which is great. So we have that. And then I've got conversion rates, right? And I can start getting a little bit better idea of how these traffic sources are performing by comparing them with one another. Remember, the truth is in the trend, the power is in the pattern here. So I've got my Google source of traffic of Google, this first top line up here, and I've got average page of, looks like 45 seconds average. And then you come down here and you can see it doubles down here with these traffic sources. So analytics.google and the partners traffic source in this case have a much better time on page. Again, the numbers themselves really don't matter by themselves, but comparing it to the other traffic sources, you see a definite spike here. You see that there's definitely a lot more of an engagement. And then you would look to see, does that continue? So in this case, they're spending more time on page, but are they really engaged? Could be a false positive, right? And in this case, you might think that from this analytics traffic because you only have 3 pages, it's 2.8 pages, but up here you've got 8 pages, even though it's very quick. So I've got this Googleplex traffic coming through. They're not there very long, but they go through a ton of pages when they're here. And then you can see average session duration, same thing. So you just look for patterns, you look for the outliers, you compare and look for the truth is in the trend, the power is in the pattern, and that's what will help give you more insights when you're managing your own PPC campaigns. Now there is one other report that is very useful when it comes to managing PPC, so let's take a look at that, and that is our keyword report. So we're going to import that, that's Rachel's report as well, so we're going to click here and go in to import this particular report, assign it to the exact same view, so we're comparing apples to apples. And what this will show us is the actual breakdown by keyword. The very first thing we're going to do is see how it's built first. This gives us an understanding of what this report is designed to do. Before we even look at it, I want to see all the different parts that are back here, specifically for filters. So we've got flat table, so this is going to show us the keyword and then the ad group that it was in. And then it's going to show us our actual number, the quantity of how much traffic that's being sent to us. And then our cost per click, goal completions, and cost per conversion. And it's going to include traffic type that is paid traffic. So anything that Google Analytics has defined in the paid traffic channel. So we're going ahead and save that. And we'll take a look at this report shows us here. And this is during the same date range we were just looking at, so last 30 days. Last 7 days. Let's make that the last 30 days. get a bunch of traffic. Okay, so now we've got keyword, YouTuber merchandise, YouTube, Google merch, YouTube merch, Google backpack, apparel. You see all the different keywords that are coming through. The ad group that they were a part of. So this is the Google Ads ad group that they were actually a part of. So we could also sort by ad group if we wanted. And then the number of sessions, our cost per click, the number of goals that were completed, however the goals were set up in your own site is what's going to show here. So if you don't have any goals set up, make sure that you do have those set up. And then our cost per conversion. So this will actually show us how much it's costing us to get them to achieve those goals. So this gives you a really good idea as far as this keyword, YouTuber merch, is an awful lot of money during this date range from a cost per conversions perspective. And again, how I am defining that is because I can look at all these other cost per conversions and they kind of seem a lot lower than 132. You got $5, 79 cents, $5, less than $1, $5, less than $1, less than $1, less than $1. And so this cost per conversion seems really, really high. And that might be something I would take a look at now from my campaigns perspective and jump into the campaign to see, am I really targeting the right people? Are the keywords correct for the landing page that they're taking a look at? But it definitely gives me an idea of something might be off here. You're getting a lot of sessions. You're getting a lot of traffic, right? It's the most traffic that we're getting is from this particular keyword, but it also seems to be really expensive from a results perspective because it doesn't bring in a ton of results. So even though the cost per click is kind of in line with what's going on, maybe a little bit on the high end, the results just aren't there for this keyword, at least not during this date range. So I would go back and investigate either a wider date range or maybe again, taking a look at my campaign in Google Ads and asking myself, am I targeting the right people? Does my copy make sense? Is it going to the proper landing page? And when they hit that landing page, does it make sense that they should be on that landing page? Or maybe there's a split test or optimization that I can take at that point. And those are just a couple of reports that you can use in the custom report section to improve your own PPC campaigns.
I would love to know how you're actually applying this information to improve your own marketing efforts. So if you'd leave a quick comment below, let me know. That would be outstanding. It's just always great to hear how people are doing. Plus, you get to read what other people are doing with theirs as well. And of course, if you like topics around Google Analytics, as I do, make sure that you like this video and also subscribe to the CXL channel. That way you're notified whenever a new video is available.